Good. Are we good morning yet? Never know what the lag is. Good morning. I was trying to cheat and have another screen up so I could see when y'all could see me. The other screen didn't load. Sometimes it doesn't do that. Good morning, Lori. Sherlock Soaps. Good to see you, and thank you for joining me this morning. And Sylvia, you and me, FPP, is in a sewing club. She has sewing club today. I think it's every Monday. I might be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it is. Good morning, Miss Ellen. Glad to see you. I have a video of yours I need to catch up on. Y'all be happy you're at home not talking right now. Okay. I am going to get Miss Ellen's link in here. Hopefully my bot is awake now. We're about to find out. And I put a PSA in there. It is in my bot, but I want to make sure to get it out there because I have a lot of new subscribers. And everybody doesn't always read YouTube's terms of service. That's what TOS stands for, terms of service, and community guidelines. And I try to abide by them, which is how I set up the rules on my channel. It's much easier when I say, it was YouTube's fault. That's not my rule, it's YouTube's. There's Miss Ellen. You're welcome. Oh, I enjoy watching her. She is good for the soul. I hear I'm good for the funny bone. Oh. And if you're just finding me, hi, I'm Colleen Sews and Chats. And I like to talk a lot and sew random things. I can't keep up with, what are they called? Sew-alongs, quilt-alongs right now. I am just too much going on. So I have to fit it in when I can fit it in, and that leaves random. Today, my random is Old Windmill. It is in the quilters. I organized everything. You know what that means? I don't know where anything is. I have a pretty good idea. I don't have that much stuff. Quilt Builder card deck. And I'm not using their measurements. I'm using my own. Because I kind of like to see, let's see what happens. Oh, my coffee. Oh, goodness. Lori, that bear panel is the bane of my existence. I'll tell you a story. If you've been here, you know the story about this panel. It is cool, though. Oh, Miss Ellen, I have a tutorial that's private. Maybe it's unlisted. I can probably send you in an email. Maybe that would help. Good morning, Lori Quilted in the Country. See, there's good reason I call Sherlock Sews Lori. It's not just because Sherlock sews. It gets me tongue twisted. And pardon my reach. My keyboard is over here. Best setup I could do. Miss Quilting in the Country. Oh, looks like Wendy is here. Gypsy woman. I have not looked over yet. Oh, what was I doing? Lori. There is Miss Lori's channel. Also has her Facebook. And her and Sylvia share the Facebook group. Wendy, how are you doing? How is everyone doing? I'm nosy. Let's chat. I had my cheat sheet up over here, my bot, so I don't spell things wrong today and forget how I put them in. Wendy says she doesn't really do much on her channel, but she shares awesome things. So, you want my cheat sheet up? I can't spell. Wendy says, just got up drinking coffee. I need to make that pop-up stop somehow. I got my son's old hard drive when mine blew, And for some reason, my mouse keeps hitting the news thing at the bottom. I thought I deleted it. Apparently not. It comes up when I don't want to see it. Oh, hey, gang's half here. Pardon my drinking coffee. If you missed the title, I know I have a coffee cup in there. It was implied. So, the quick story. Oh, do I need to fix a piece of paper? I don't know if I had your Facebook page in the bot, but if I did, I'll remove it. They did the same thing to my mother-in-law. They have probably going to say Berkshire hogs they raise. They had a Facebook, a personal and a business Facebook. And Facebook has taken away too. Apparently they're trying to keep up with YouTube. YouTube takes away things. It takes things out of your playlist. It takes away subs. It takes away thumbs ups. It's very frustrating for content creators. And it can be very demoralizing, but I'm telling you, hear me, creator friends that are small like me and getting there. They're doing it to stop people from doing the sub buying. Subscription buying, I know. Everybody don't care, don't listen, it's okay. I just want to tell my friends. There are people out there who use a thing that is buying subs. And it's working for them because they can't catch all the bots. You'll see them go up one day and drop drastically the next. And it's kind of on a schedule if you can see the analytics, which, you know, I'm a numbers girl. But they're trying to keep that from, you know, making an unfair playing ground. So I don't think it's working, but that's why they're doing it. They're trying to create a fair playing ground for everybody, despite cheating and underhanded techniques. So when I lose subs after gaining them, I know it's probably YouTube making sure there's no bots in there. But all of my subs and my, I thought I was going to call her this, my 1K clubber friend, I actually have several of them, but the newest one, Melissa at Practically Creative. Oh, okay. I was reading chat. Melissa at Practically Creative. I was going to say something about her just now. What was it? That train of thought went out the door. It's talking about bots. Oh, I noticed when she was growing, we were comparing numbers and stuff, and we could always see, not always, but the majority of our subscriptions, we could connect to a short we had put up or a video we'd put up or a conversation we were in somebody else's chat, somebody else is mentioning us in chat. It's easily connected. Others, huge jumps that don't make any sense. But anyway, that's why YouTube is doing it. It's trying to create a fair playing field for all the content creators, not just the ones who can afford to buy their way in. Yes, and that's a very good point, and I've skipped down at the bottom. Miss Ellen says, all you have to do is ask your friends to share your channel, and that is absolutely true. The quilting community is very, very good about sharing crafters, quilters, other friends. If you pop up in chat, my friend Dee Dee knows. She does it. She has My Big Tidy Up. I will share her channel sometimes if she's not even here. A lot of times she's not even here. She keeps me going and getting things put away properly. Watching her. Gypsy Woman says, I'm not smart enough to cheat. Ha. I'm not rich enough to cheat. So, and I have a very odd conscience. Little things will nag me to no end. And I was telling the story just the other day. This is the chatting portion. We'll get to the sewing portion. I went to Walmart and I didn't use their self-checkout before. I put an onion up there, which it has to wait and stuff, and I put it up there, and I had a scan thing on it, so I did that, and I put it in the bag. When I got out to the car, I realized that had not scanned. My back was killing me. I came home. I went back the next day, and I told them, I got an onion yesterday, and I didn't ring it up properly. They're like, really? It's like, yeah. So, things bother me as a blessing and a curse. It keeps me in line. Mostly. Let's see, chat real quick. Everybody's saying good morning to one another. Sherlock says I'm a gypsy woman, not smart enough to cheat. Oh, I know both of you could. I think that's a ridiculous effort to put into something that for me is supposed to be fun. Yes, subs are great and I appreciate them. I don't know, cheaters never win, winners never cheat. Maybe in this world they'll get away with it, but I'm telling you, they're not going to get away with it forever. And that's why we pray for them. That's why I pray for them. Anyway, let's move on. And that's probably going to make it into a short. Might as well use making all these faces for something. Sherlock So says exactly. Who was I? Let's see. Melissa was having a hard day yesterday. She's not here yet. And I wanted to say, because I didn't put it in her comments, I'm glad Marie at Marie Scrappy Creations is feeling better. She had her, not a bag, box, her scrappy box to hold fat quarters and charm packs. It's a milestone. It's an amazing milestone. I'm so happy for her. She had it hit in a short period of time 10,000 views. If you haven't visited her, I'll put her in there too. You should go check her out. If I spelled that right. And this is where my heart is. My heart is with sharing people. I like to chat and share. Sherlock says, I give YouTubers big thumbs up. Seems like a huge headache. I got on YouTube because I enjoyed being in chats, talking with people who had something in common with me, and there's fabric here implied. And since I'm not in chats anymore, Martha's in the bot. Give me just a second and I'll get you in there. Good morning, Brenda Foley. I see you too. I hope you ladies are doing great. And once again, I lost my train of thought. Last night, I was awake all night thinking, Colleen, stay on track. Commit to a thought and follow it through. It's not going to work, is it? That ship has sailed. Oh, I was talking about chats. Again, I got on chats to be in and around other people who had the same hobby as me and to chat. And I love chatting because, there's nobody around. There's 2 men in the house that aren't chatting. Unless they want something. They're better than that. I'm kidding. But anyway, ladies, you'll understand this. Guys, add a girl and it's beautiful, but they don't understand picking the fabric. They don't understand all that. Now, you give my husband a piece of wood, craft, he could tell you about it. So it was nice. And then I had to stop being in chats for a while. It was just too much stress. Trying to keep up with everything and everyone all the time. So this is my solution. I get to chat on here. and I get to sew a little bit. Somebody learns something, that's great. If they just come to hang out, that's great. And always in all chats that I've seen, if you bring up the chat box, even after a live for the replays, there are great tips in there. Oh, that is so sweet. You're not going to make me teary-eyed today. Brenda Foley says, I do miss you moderating. You set the standard. That is so sweet. I still mod for a few, but drama. Anyway, got all distracted by Brenda. Martha, that's where I was going. I was going to share Martha's link. If you haven't checked out my friend Martha, her link will be, well, if I spell it right, things are too far for me to see. Her link will be coming up in just a second. And you notice I say links, the live chat, top chat, whatever your chat box will have live links that I put in there, that moderators put in there. And most of my links are available for anybody to use. So, you know, if Wendy comes in and wants to share Martha, I'm okay with that. I try to limit it to people that I'm watching. So how many links do I have? Right now I have, this is techie, nobody cares. Well, it's showing me 100. How many do I have? I have 77 links of items, people's. Martha says, thank you, Colleen. Oh, and I need to add my friend Joe and my Linda. I'll have to go steal theirs from their page after the live. She's another one that just speaks to my soul. Not everybody is for everybody. I get that. But if you check them out, you know, give them a sub. Tell them Colleen sent you. Don't tell them Colleen sent you. Nobody cares. But everybody's trying to grow. And speaking of growing, I know my friend Brandy, who is also a mod for me. Brandy is a 100 proof quilter. She is growing. And my mods channels are always in the description box, in that drop down. So anybody can go visit them. Okay, back to where I was. If you're just coming in, hi, I'm Colleen Sews and Chats, and we are going to make Old Windmill. Very pretty block. From me, I should leave it out. I should stop putting it away. I'm just that type of person. Quilt Builder's Card Deck by C&T Publishing. I'm just leaving it out now. I am not a professional. I do not play one on the computer or on TV. So, and I'm not using the directions on the back. I may do that one of these days. Just decide, let's see what their directions say. I have used their directions before, and I didn't like them. I didn't like them from my brain. Let's be clear. They're not bad directions. There was just more thinking than I was willing to do. We all know that that's a problem with me. Joe and Maylee with the bus life. No, that's a different one. Let me see. Miss Ellen, do you know how to share a link? I'm sure you do. Can you share a link? Because I will make you a mod. If you type something now, you're a moderator, Miss Ellen. There you go. You could share their link if you want to. And I will tell you right now, it's not in me to promote deception. And that's what I'm going to say about that. Sherlock Sews, she said this before, and I love this. Patterns for me are just suggestions. Oh, I know, Miss Ellen, but I've seen you talk about them. She was just asking if that's who I was talking about. No, this one is, I think it's at Joe and my Linda at Back in the Arms of Jesus, something like that. It's a long name. I should talk to her about making that ruler. Her channel, her rules. We're not going to try to dictate other people's rules. It's too much work. Good evening, Janet from Australia. Yes, Australia. See how good my memory is. There's always some lag, so it looks like, if it looks like I'm a few steps behind, it's because I am. Yay, Janet from Australia. It's good to have you, and it's good to have all the new subscribers, viewers, friends. And yeah, I'm here for the friends. So. If I call you friend, it's going to happen a lot. Oh, and by the way, everyone that I can see in my chat, they are aware I am a happily married woman. This is not a dating service. Thank you. Each card has the sizes, and it has, I got that turned up while you're right. Yeah, that's not too bad. Let's see. It does have minimal cutting directions on it, but if you don't know what you're doing, you're not going to understand it. You, I think, could pick it up like that. Yes, I'm going to be sewing this. It is a Old Windmill. I'm using 2 5-inch squares. I'm going to do 4 at a time, HSTs to get these right here, the light medium colored ones. Sorry about the glare. And then I'm going to use these for the dark color. If I wrote it out right yesterday, a 3 inches of this cut on the diagonal will get me 4 of these. 3-inch square, sorry. So let's move down. She's been curious about those. There is a card in the box that does tell you, there's several cards in the box that give you more information. Each card is kind of minimal, but it's kind of the key is the other cards. Also has, I think, a couple layouts. Oh. We're not going to tilt today. So to get my 4 at a time HSTs, I am just going to do my 1/4 inch all the way around. Then I'm going to square these up. I did best press, and which you could use water, it's fine. Niagara starch, flow, stay flow, all fine. That's what I had. That's what I used. So it did shrink up my 5-inch blocks just a little bit, but really it just took up that pinked edge a little bit. It looks like it's fine. And this is why I do the shorts and stuff, so you can actually see where this foot is, because this is not a good angle. I'd have to remember to put it in the comments. You want to see the sewing? It starts around 25 minutes. Fast forward. And I'm sewing right off the edge. Flipping it. You could stop where your 1/4 inch is if you're sewing time in that time, and I am not. It is loud. This is a very fast walk. And that's what I try to do on Monday. Something fast. Oops. Thank you, Miss Ellen, for asking for the thumbs up. I appreciate that. It lets YouTube and me and others know that you like what you're seeing, even though I'm a little bit crazy. That one is too small. I knew it when I started. Why did I not have this up? And now I'm going to cut corner to corner. Do I have a channel handle yet? Yes, and I believe it's just at Colleen Sews Chats. No and. And I turned them carefully to keep them from separating so I could just cut my ruler back down and do one more cut corner to corner. Need a bigger space. Pretty sure that wouldn't do me any good. But I'll give these a quick press. Look at me being all pretty about that, grabbing them. I don't think it matters. It doesn't give any pressing directions when you do these, so and press them how you want. I'm going to go with, this heats up very fast, pressing to the dark side. When in doubt, press to the dark side. Good morning, Tracy. Tracy, I've got those pictures up today. I'm going to show them. Whoop. That is not what that was supposed to do. Set the seam. Relax the threads. I have not done any research about that, but I believe the people who have to say it. I try to nudge it with this, but it doesn't nudge it back to keep it from pleating underneath here. So I do give it the slightest bit of a tug. Be very careful. If you are tugging on your fabric, always use caution. You should not be tugging on your fabric. I don't make good choices. And these are my Christmas fabrics. Thank goodness. But, I was going to tell you about that bear panel. The bear panel is going to be on the back of that blue quilt that you see underneath it. It's going to have brown Minky on it because that's what my husband wants, and it's his quilt. I am not enthused about doing brown. It probably will be having to be part of the lives, though, because I can't do it all. Let's see. Tracy Albert, did I say good morning? I said good morning. I don't remember now. Everyone say good morning. Gypsy Woman says, I have 3 quilts with my long armor, so I'm not going to another quilt until I get those bound. I hear you. I'm going to have several that I need to quilt. I don't send them off. I quilt them myself. So right now, all I'm doing is making more potential work for myself that I haven't finished the first ones yet. She's been making random things, like the other day, made a vinyl wallet. What was it? I saw you share something the other day. Let's see what these are going to square up to. Where did I hide that? This is a little silicone holder that came with that iron on top of my homemade clapper. Let's see how big these are. Yep, I'm going to square them down to 3. Let's see, how big are they? Because I could just These rulers, I don't know if it's all of them because I've only got a few to try. When you put them backwards, they don't sit right. Flip them over. Yeah, I'm going to square these up to 3. They are 3 1/4. I could easily do that. Just dock the dog ears off if all of them are a good 3 1/4, which they're not, which is why I square them up. So I'm going to square them all up to 3 using the diagonal line on my ruler down the center of the seam. Line those up. I always start by cutting just a little off the first 2 sides. If I have a terrifically straight line right here, which usually is not the case for me, I will just line it up and do the one side. I know everybody who's seen me cut over there at my couch is probably appreciating that this thing is not going to fall over on me. The other one's not. It just looks like it is, and I never realized it. This does not have any little... Moved it. You're in the way. What's the words? Grabbies. You can buy them to put on your rulers. My wrist is not wanting to put pressure that way. And it helps them from sliding around. It helps them stick. And there's also a couple of specialty rulers, I'm pretty sure, for squaring up. I'm going to try this, moving this closer to me because my hand isn't liking that. Around here, we do what works. At least we try to do what works. This one is barely 3 inches. I like the wiggle room. I don't like a lot of it because it's wasteful, but I like a little bit of wiggle room. Hopefully I'll remember to add you to my mod list, Miss Ellen. Whoops. And underneath, there we go. In the description box. Also, if you haven't pressed them open, you can actually use your ruler. I want to say that I saw Tiffany at Tiffany's Quilting Life, My Quilting Life. I suddenly can't remember. Square them up like this using the line on your ruler. I just like this way. I'm pretty sure you got to cut those dog ears off. So I think it was her. She gives lots of great tips. You probably noticed I don't follow a lot of the great tips because I'm a rebel. I'm probably missing all kinds of things. What are the cards from? The cards are from Janet Johnson asks, Quilt Builder Card Deck. And in the US, I've got links to the US. I would imagine there's some version that has them. Let's see. That is at C&T Publishing, that link. You can find them on Amazon. You can find them in several of your favorite quilt shops. At least mine I can. And although I was just saying that they have minimal instructions on the back, they have a little more instructions on some of the cards to help you out a little bit. I think they're designed to be a skill builder. I don't like their instructions because it's basically most of their instructions say you need to cut a square and then cut these triangles out, and then one at a time sew these triangles together. I'm not going to do that if I don't have to. If it has at least 2 or 4 HSTs, I will just do multiple HSTs at once. It makes better sense. It's more efficient for me. Maybe it doesn't make sense to somebody else. They give multiple sizes on the back. I think I can give the sizes, just not the instructions. 6, 8, 10, 12, and 36-inch blocks are the sizes they give you for cuts. I really liked how my Halloween quilt came out with just random sizes, log cabin style sashing around them to bring them up to size. I liked it. Okay. Now we're going to see if chin. Okay. Now we're going to see if I plan right. Now what I was thinking is if I do them 4 at a time, I can then, and I'm going to do these 1 at a time because I don't trust myself stacking these. I can then cut them this way. I didn't need 4, did I? Okay, I'm going to make 2 blocks. I'm pretty sure that's what I just did to myself. I'll make 2 blocks. But it's fine. Right, because I only need 2. I should have done 2 at a time. It would have been bigger. That's if this works out right. So let's put I'm making my head happy here. Okay, let's put 2 to the side. Just confused everyone. What I'm thinking is I can cut them on the diagonal and put them in that shape. 2 at a time. HSTs would have worked for this. That's what happens when you're trying to think through paint. My head likes to put the corners on the lines on my mat, top and bottom, and then cut. It keeps me from having to fiddle. As long as my ruler isn't pushing it every time I try to put it down. Let's try that. There we go. It's going to be a thing. Moving the fabric. Stop it. Does getting onto inanimate objects ever work out right? Does it work? And I will be back in chat in just a minute. Here's what we test what my mind thought it could do. And, all right, see, that's why I did 4 at a time. Yep, that's why I did 4 at a time, because it does not work that way. I need 2 of the opposite direction. See, making up as I go along has consequences. I still would have done these 4 at a time and made 2 blocks. Because I don't like sewing 1 at a time. And for what I'm doing, this isn't going to be wasteful because it's random blocks. It's not going to hurt to have 2 blocks. Okay. Stop my head from this nonsense. And I am going to sew all of these to a 3-inch. Don't tell anybody that this is what I'm going to do. Good morning, Deborah. I'm just doing all kinds of nonsense. Last night I was thinking that, okay, yep, that still works. 3-inch square out of my dark fabrics. I do a lot of trial and error. Should have had this worked out before I got on, but that's not that kind of channel. Well, thank you for cooperating. Cutter. 2 3-inch squares and then corner to corner. Is how this is working in my mind. Now I could have. No, not going to say that. Go with what we got. Oh, Martha says, Colleen, guess what? What? I'm listening to you while I get ready for work, and I thought to myself, geez, that sounds familiar. I got one in my sewing room too. I got it as a gift recently. What'd you get as a gift? I have to look. Waiting on coffee. Deborah says, yum, I have my coffee. Which, by the way, I'm going to keep talking. I should take a drink. Martha has the bestest sister-in-law. She truly does. You watch her on her channel. She gives the coolest stuff. Now I'm going to sew. I put these right sides together, and I'm going to sew my 1/4 inch. Why am I doing that? Okay. It is what it is. If you're not going to use leaders and enders, hang on to your threads. If you're on a machine like this, because it wants to eat them. Joyce Baker, good morning. Good to see you. Right sides together. I'm making a mess, and in the end, we'll probably have 2 blocks. Let's cross our fingers because I didn't dust this. When I'm using the seam tape, I'll usually take one and I'll put it through that way, and I'll take the other one and I'll put it through this way. But I'm using my foot, so it'll happen. And if I'm missing comments, I apologize. I will try to catch up. I start out with 5-inch squares, did 4 at a time, HSTs, trimmed them down to 3 inches, then cut 2 3-inch squares of my dark fabric and cut them diagonal. So then I had 4 triangles. Look at that. I think I mathed this morning successfully. So I could put them on these. Then we're going to play with the jigsaw puzzle a little bit to see if I do actually get 2 out of this. I don't like organ blocks. That's why I added to my Halloween one. Okay, what did I do? Oh, that's what I did. Okay. Nope, 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 nope. If you're watching, you're probably thinking, oh, that's not the right number, Colleen. Because, yeah, that's not the right number. I needed, they may be very different. I actually needed 4 3-inch squares to do it this way. Let's see how quick this is. Okay. Where's this thing? Dark. That one's not going to work. I bet at least 2 of these aren't going to work. Maybe the other one that's not going to work. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I'm clever on the go, I'm not. I'm going to make 2 of these where the light is in the center, which will be I'm thinking as I go. See, all these will have the dark to the center. And then I will make these all light to the center. I have to think about it though, because I messed up. Bear with me. There. Tetras and oh, Brenda's leaving. Thank you for joining, Brenda, and thank you for being so sweet. Off to work she goes. We're going to clean up this mess before I go. See if I can do it in 30. Try not to be on here more than an hour and a half, even though I can talk indefinitely. Why does my mind not want to play well with this thing right now? It's not seeing the pattern. If I turn it, I don't see the pattern. That's the one I need. Okay, there's my pattern. In theory, all of these should be able to give me a headache. That's not right. That's why. Some people you can't trust. Okay, triangles are all pointing the same direction. Anybody else asking why is Colleen doing this if she doesn't have a clue? Because I'm going to do it anyway. On her half camera, I'm going to do it. Miss Ellen says, that's a beautiful block, Colleen. Thank you, Miss Ellen. That's not. Okay, that one we got. I need to take this off of this one. I use a teeny tiny stitch, so it doesn't matter how teeny tiny the stitch, this works great. Seam ripper. I'm not singing the song. I refuse to glorify it. I'm joking. I glorify it and sing it. I appreciate you all coming to see the train wreck. See, that's why I said it was a plan. I didn't say it was a good one or it was going to be a successful one. But yeah, it will be fine. I think it's going to be neat to have them in 2 different colors, assuming that that works out. Okay. This is going to go on this one. And I was careful when I used the seam ripper so it didn't stretch my fabrics. Just required a minute of thinking. This is kind of cool though. I like having the 2 opposing centers. I think it's going to be pretty. And then I'll call it a design choice. Get me a couple more practice for that one. Let's practice on the one we got. I got one block done. Okay, that's what we were looking for. Now I'm gonna do a 4 patch after I get my threads. I'm gonna press these. I don't like pressing in the middle of the live because it's a little bit tedious and a little bit obnoxious, but they're going to lay there for me. I'm also gonna knock off these dog ears. I usually use my ruler. I'm gonna live wild and have a mess to clean up. And no, I did not measure these because assuming, and we know what that means, I did it right, they should all be the same size at this point. And if I did it wrong, well, we're going to make it work anyway. Because this is fun. This isn't a job. Well, at least not for me. It's not a job for me. Quick snip off those dog ears. Now, I was putting that in a short, and I was like, that's a horrible saying. You're going to clip off the dog ears. It just doesn't sound nice. Okay. Now, how is it that? I'm impressed with myself every time something turns out right. Now I'm going to do a 4 patch, which means I'm going to flip these over to here. So here, and then do them together. Lining up my edges. These are nesting. Yay. Right down there. You can pin, you can clip, and I will probably regret not pinning. I usually hold where it's nested with 1 finger. And I can feel it if it becomes unnested. And I'm using my 1/4 inch foot. Okay, that wasn't a 1/4 inch. Don't tell anybody. And these are also nesting because the way I pressed them. And I picked them up and I have to recheck because, okay. Make sure I've got the right corner. I do that all the time. I pick them up and suddenly I've got the wrong corner in my hand. Best laid plans. go. It's not yours anymore. And I'll show you what I noticed that I do all the time. In case you do it. I'm just going to go back over it. Oh, you probably can't even see. When I get to the end, I have a habit of going sideways. Instead of keeping it straight all the way through, I go sideways. Even, it doesn't matter what I use. I've used the seam tape, which is on my machine for something else. I just think it's a good time to let go and let the machine have it, I guess. There we go. Now I've got the full French. I apologize for all that I missed up there. Good morning, Halo. Angel is here, and she is in the bot. Let's see. Deborah Holden says, just got my 1/4 inch foot. Love it. I've heard that some of them aren't accurate. This one is accurate for me. And listen to me mispronounce accurate. Oh, that's going to be cute. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Let's see, I usually use first names. I'll get you. Visit our friend Angel. I discovered, yeah, I didn't know that I liked gnomes until I got that gnome panel. And apparently I like gnomes a lot. And Christmas. Now I'm just going to put these together. I should press that. Press them opposite sides. These are wanting to go opposite sides, so it's not a problem. Quick finger press. Press them with your iron if you want. If I wasn't on here, I probably would. Then these centers will nest, and I do use a pin. I use the poke a pin method because I don't want to draw on them today. Sometimes I want to draw on them. To find that point, let's see, yeah. To find that point, I want that pin to go through the point of each of these and not through my finger. It doesn't know the difference. Oh, this is very hard for me to see for some reason this morning. It happens, so I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to be wishing that I had tried that universal foot more often. Angel knows what I'm talking about. I may have saved that to my beginner playlist. The needle was too far up, so I just put it back instead of pulling it up and putting it down again. Okay. Until we find out if this is going to work today. So up to the pin. Don't hit the pin, and one of these days you're going to get to hear me do that. Just because I want everybody to know how awful it sounds and why you shouldn't do it. But the risk of the needle, the pin breaking off and hitting scares me more than my desire to show you guys me doing something ridiculous. I'm holding, if I had my stiletto over here, I'm gonna hold these seams down with it. Okay. And I'll do the light colored center off camera as soon as I find fabrics to go with it. Nope, not bad, not perfect, but I generally don't go for perfect. Did that? Oh, that's what happened. I see. Hang on. That when I went over the center, there's so much bulk right there. It shifted up a little, so it didn't go right over that. So I'm going to try that again. So I need to get good with the universal. But it's got a button on there. Mine's on the left side though. It's not on the right side. Well, we're just gonna call it good enough. And not tell anybody. Give it a press. Am I sewing geese? Not geese. What is this thing called? I keep forgetting the name of it. Old Windmill. I'll probably do the other one better, let's hope, for the center. I'm not dying, beating myself up or anything else over my centers being a little bit off. These are random. These are not following a strict pattern. If it was a strict pattern, then I would try much harder. Yay, first Christmas block. Christmas theme, holiday theme. I say Merry Christmas. It catches sometimes, probably because I dropped it quite a few times last week on my foot. I think it turned out really well. I had a very hard time picking a medium and a dark fabric out of these fabrics. I took a black and white picture. All of them looked dark or light. I wasn't seeing an in-between. Lisa called it the Christmas candy block. Spin the center to flatten it. That is a good idea. I have to do it up here because I can't see this thing. I am actually half blind. In theory, probably because I'm going to have to take a couple of those apart because this is going to be a mess with me not being able to see. I'll have to do that on a camera. Sometimes I can spin them, sometimes I can't. I will tell you. Yeah, looks like it's going to work. That I know it's easier on long armors. And these are going to go different directions. That's fine. I'm going to give it a spray so I can get to go the directions I want. To not have that bulk in the center, or anywhere for that matter. Oh, that lays much flatter. Can't hardly see it. What I did is I took some stitches out there and I made one go one way and one go the other. It spins the center. Well, one was supposed to go the other. It looks like it went halfway and the other half decided not to travel. I'm going to clip that. But we're going to call it good. We're going to call it a win. And done with that. Now I'm going to show you because I want you to understand that I know I'm not perfect. And I'm not striving for perfection is hard on my back, which is bad. So I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, right there. Right there is not aligned right. I'm going to take it apart. I'm not going to do that. If you want to do that, your quilt, your rules, no quilt police here. I hope. Quilt police and grammar police. They get a run for their money with me. So, Tracy Albert. Yes and no. And I don't have that pattern here with me. The one Lisa Capen did was a little bit different. It had snowballed. I'm trying to remember how she did that. It had just a little snowball. I can't remember how she did it. I'll have to look it up. But yes, it looks a lot like it. Maybe it was. She just had a smaller corner over here, maybe. Check out Lisa Capen. She's doing a Christmas themed sew along, and I did the first block from that in my Halloween one. Oh, that's still catching up. I'm going to show Tracy's block. Tracy, hopefully you can see it on my phone, was doing some FPP with Sylvia's help. And all of this that I'm showing, oh, let's not get that, are FPP. Trying to, pardon me, everything wants to glare. Well, we're not going to fight the glare. Let's see. Crowns. Those are crowns. Kingdom Hearts, right? Treasure chest. All FPP. Sylvia helped her. I don't know if any of these patterns are Sylvia's. Tracy, you'd have to tell us. I can't remember. Isn't that just amazing? The dimension that FPP adds. Crazy. And she did them very quickly too. More FPP. Trying to struggle. These are so pretty. A key. Probably showing all kinds of information. Nope, not showing all kinds of information. Yay me. That bottom one. Whoop. There we go. Those keys. Oh my gosh. Tracy says, no, they are from Fandom and Stitches. They have a free FPP, right? Sylvia's good at FPP. Tracy Albert did these. She was helping. Sylvia was helping her. And, oh, okay. I just realized I do have that picture on my phone. Okay. Lisa Capen's has an extra snowballed corner. Right, whoops, right over here. Has a snowball corner. Changes it just a little bit, but it looks very much the same. When I saw Lisa do that one, I was dying to do it. Oh, and I added, see, I thought I was done, but then I don't like orphan blocks, so I added, let's see if we can get this. Barely see that FPP bottle in the center down there. And then I called it done. That is not the picture that I sent you, Angel. Didn't have the bottom on yet because I hadn't committed to it. I thought, okay, this is done. Nope, I don't like orphan blocks. They're going to be in there somewhere. Okay, well, we did the old windmill and doing it my way. One will have a dark center and then you'll have enough for a light center. I'll have to write down the measurements I used and stick them in a comment because I'm pretty sure the description box is full of everything else. These will have actually, I was right the first time. Don't listen to me. All pointing that way, all pointing this way. Okay. Look how easy that is. When I'm not trying, boom, it comes to me. If I point them all this way, it's going to have the light center. If I make all these arrows turn around, and if I make all the arrows turn around, it's going to have the dark center. It's that simple. So I'm going to make this one with light center, so it's just a little bit different, and use some different fabrics on the outside, but I'm not going to do it on the live because I kept y'all way too long because I talk a lot. Tracy says those are the blocks for her son's quilt and doing as quilt as you go. And they are spectacular. Oh my goodness. Oh, and now I'm going back up. Got sidetracked on Tracy. Angel says, I had a couple on my Hunter Star that I didn't spin. Long arm blipped a bit. Even if I did on my domestic, it would have been ugly. I haven't had trouble on my domestics. I have very small domestics. And I made me going around those completely instead of going through them. Haven't done a whole lot, but I avoid confrontation when I can, even in my blogs. But yeah, somebody was, I was watching someone, and I don't know who it was saying that it was making them needle skip every time they hit one of those. And it is much, much flatter. When I did my mother's quilt, it had a few pinwells, and that's when I started spinning the seams. That was only like my fourth quilt. Oh, I was going to tell you all the story about the bears real quick. Nope, told you about the bears. That's going to be the back of that quilt. I don't think it matches. It's for my husband. The back was his choice. The front was actually my choice. Yes, she did. And let's see. It looks beautiful, Angel says. Thank you very much, Angel. Deborah says, yay, coffee. Darn pot is on a timer, so had to wait. I had a pot with the timer. Very, very planned out everything. My husband stole my coffee pot with the timer when he decided he was going to start drinking coffee. And he didn't like how my coffee made his coffee taste. Or he didn't like the smell. I think it was it was the taste. Because I drink hazelnut coffee. So he took the good one, and I got a cheap little, I think it was like 4 cups coffee maker. And we lived happily ever after. Martha says, super cute. Thank you very much. Everybody's saying beautiful, Tracy. Angel says, glad you did stay on longer. I caught you live. Yay. I may have read that already. I read it in my head. I don't know if I said it. And then Tracy says, I love hazelnut coffee. And Angel says, super awesome bear panel. It's going to be a struggle. I'm going to put the Minky on just like a log cabin because apparently my brain likes that. I don't know what its problem is. I was going to go top, side, but then I did the calculations to do the bottom, then the side, then the top, then the side. Out of a 90-inch by 1.5 yards, and it's brown. Our last living room was all brown. The walls were brown. It was rented. Walls were brown. The carpet was brown. The fireplace was brown. Brown rafters going across it. It was brown. And when we moved in here, I painted walls red. I painted walls blue. In the back of that, you can see the bedrooms have a focus wall. I was so sick of brown. And he's like, as soon as he saw that, he's like, I want brown. I want it all blue. He likes the bears. He's getting brown. Guess who, Nancy? Good morning. We were just taking off. We just made this block in my roundabout chaotic way. It looks backwards, doesn't it? That's the second block I've done that to. It's the same thing. It's going backwards. It's not going backwards. That was a design choice. I'm a genius. Or a fool. Who knows? Nancy, I've been praying for you. I hope you and your husband are all better. Oh, there's always the replay. Don't worry about it. And if you can't catch the replay, it's okay. I have been having a hard time keeping up. Sometimes I just have to give myself permission to watch one of everybody's and move on. Go through, give them a thumbs up. If I can get them on my TV, everybody gets the playtime. Everybody gets thumbs up, but I don't comment on the TV. I'm just staring at this now. No rhyme or reason. I think Joyce Baker, thank you. I love my friends and viewers. They support my annex. Joyce Baker says, I am a genius. I am a genius, she says. Grab my coffee. I'll be a caffeinated genius. This thing isn't even halfway done. I was almost soaked in coffee. Tracy says the block is awesome. Thank you. Guess who Nancy says, LOL, that is a block like me. I'm backwards. My tiny in friend. I've told her I'm random. She knows from my comments I'm random. So, yep, backwards and random. I should add that to the description, along with married. Last chemo is Wednesday. I thought that was coming up. Nancy's husband. Praying for complete healing for him. And strength for you both. It is hard taking care of someone going through something like that because you got to fight for them and for you to keep going. In my mind, my husband, it was not cancer. He was sick and lost in his memory, lost a whole week. They don't even know what it was. He's convinced he was poisoned by me. I tell them, I got 5 kids. Why would I add another to that mess? I'm not that kind of woman who wants to take care of more than I have to. Acknowledge my laziness. Stop telling people I poisoned you. No, he lost a whole week, and I literally had to carry him. He's 6 foot tall. I was only like 130 pounds at the time. So little me had him on my shoulder, dragging him literally into the doctor's office, and they gave him 2 or 3 bags of IV fluids because he wouldn't drink, he wouldn't eat. I had to, and while we were there, he had to go to the bathroom, so I had to take him to the bathroom. No, they didn't figure it out. It was like a stomach flu and the regular flu both at the same time. Fever, but it lasted. It was over a week, but a whole week, his memory is gone. He doesn't remember me taking him to the doctor. He doesn't remember getting sick everywhere. He doesn't remember me sleeping in the living room on a pull-out mattress because I was terrified of getting whatever it was that he had. Anyway, we're going to wrap this up. Keep it under the hour and 30 minutes. My goal is always an hour. My mouth doesn't. That was pretty. My mouth has no sense of time. It just starts talking. Anyway, links for everything I used, if I could find links, are in the description box. If not, like the hot cocoa fabric, I don't think it's available anymore. And these 2 are the hot cocoa. This I got at my local store, and I have no idea what it is. It was pretty when I got it a year ago. I had no plans for it. So, don't zoom into that. Nancy says they'll know December 7th. And she has to get to work. Well, thank you for joining us. Thank you all. I hope you enjoy your day. Shop small businesses, small companies. Visit my friends and my mods. Check them out. I like them. But, you know, we all have our own taste. I would appreciate it. They would appreciate it. Thank you to my mods. Thank you, Miss Ellen, brand new mod. I appreciate you being here, and don't ever feel like it's mandatory for you to show up. People, we've got lives. Modding is voluntary. We appreciate you. Joyce has to feed her dog. Have a great day. Hello. Sorry. Doris Dale. Thank you for getting the replay. Sorry I missed you. Sorry you missed us. Love visiting. I may be able to get on at 6:30. I'll put it in the upcoming. If that happens, I may start getting on at 6:30 and just going until 8. Because my son's schedule changed, so that changes my schedule a little bit. May try that in a few weeks. I'm not committing to it. Have a good day. Be the light you hope to see in others. Spread kindness and joy.